Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to learn German. So, as you may already know, I have been learning German for maybe, I would say roughly a year and a couple months. And it's rough. And if you've been learning German or you're thinking of learning German, this is probably the perfect video for you because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So you may have seen my previous video about being a foreigner in Germany, and I just talk about the struggles of being in Germany and things that are just completely difficult, and yeah, German in general is just hard. First of all, in Canada, where I come from, they don't teach German in school. Like, maybe you would learn Spanish, but it's not like something that you're gonna learn like in high school or like anything like that. It's more of like in college you maybe will have like one semester where you can choose to learn a language, and well, German is just not typically one of them. A lot of Germans can speak perfect English, or better English than what my German will ever be. But I think a lot of them have like this phobia because they feel like they haven't had the chance to practice enough and they're just shy about it, and they just rather speak German. And so it can be very hard to feel like you're part of the society or just to be able to do anything here, because it seems like people just don't want to talk to you unless you're speaking German to them, or they just don't understand what you're saying, or it's just not working if you want to speak English here. You can get around, but I think that's more like in the big cities, like especially in Berlin. I feel like in Berlin, you don't even realize you're in Germany, you can speak English. I live in a small town in Germany, and yeah, I could say like going into a bakery, maybe I could ask for something in English and they would understand like kind of like what you want, but I think typically people won't really like speak English to you. Or I've had a lot of people who've like asked me for directions, and me not knowing, you know, what to say like in German, I'll say it in English, and then they're kind of like, oh, like forget about you, like let me go ask in German. So you do run into that a lot, and it can be really hard to make friends. So if you're thinking about moving to Germany or you're already in Germany, I would highly recommend signing up to a German course or something. And honestly, it's just to make yourself feel like more integrated and just to be able to get around and feel comfortable, because you can feel very lonely here if you're not speaking German. I personally signed up for a course with VHS, and I'm pretty sure my course is 4 months long, or maybe 3 months, I'm not sure. But it is twice a week. And I feel like having a course just gives you like that extra boost to learn. You have like these other people around you. It's just like a new way to learn German. You're not like on your own doing it, and I feel like you get like that sense of like community a little bit. Especially if you've moved here and you don't have friends, I think it is nice to feel like you're in the boat with like other people and they're going through the same thing as you, and it's hard, and they're going through it, and you can relate and you can talk and you can make friends. And also I think when you have different people teaching you or different methods of German being taught to you, it just gives you an easier way to learn in different ways. And I think it's more exciting if you have different methods of learning a language. Other than being at home and just learning on the internet, it can be really like unmotivating. So definitely sign up for a course. And the course that I'm taking with VHS, it's only costing me 25 euros for the book. You're literally just paying for the book, and the courses are free. So definitely, if you've moved to Germany and you're feeling lonely and you're like, I'm going to be staying here for a while, and you feel like you need to learn German, which I suggest that you probably do if you want to feel like good here. Otherwise, if you're in Berlin, I think it's a lot easier for you to get around just in English. But if you're living anywhere else in Germany, I highly recommend taking a course like this. Only 25 euros, so definitely take it. I have this book called Panorama, and this is A1 German, so it's the beginning of the beginning. Here you go. And I am halfway through it, and it's taken me I guess like a year to get through it. It's really hard when you come here and you're trying to get settled and yeah, you're trying to like live, you're trying to work, and then you're trying to learn German on top of it. It's hard to fit it all in, and I totally understand you if you're just feeling like overwhelmed and like crying about it, because that's literally how I felt. So I would say, if you know that you're coming here or if you're already here, try to learn the basics, try to learn your numbers. I think numbers were the first thing that I learned, and it was quite easy. So numbers are a good thing. Days of the week will really help you out as well. So one thing that I didn't expect about German was the fact that they have feminine, masculine, and neutral. So for example, if you're gonna say the book, okay, in English it's just the banana, the bed, the flower, the whatever. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. In German, you have das Buch, which is the book, and then if you're gonna say books, you would say die Bücher. And also learning genitive, accusative, dative is just absolute hell. So I actually ended up speaking to one of the ladies who, she kind of like tells you which course would be best for you, and I told her like I really have like issues with this, like I just don't get it, because in English we just don't have this. I can't even explain it to you if you're not learning German, but if you are learning German, you would totally know what I'm talking about. It just makes no sense, and to make a sentence properly in German, you need to know these things. And anyway, this woman who works at the place where I'm doing my German course, she told me, she was like, even Germans don't even know this. She was like, don't even worry about it. And I was like, okay, that makes my life a lot easier. But I think it does matter. I think the only way that I personally will learn it is just by like hearing people talk, or kind of just like memorizing and like knowing what sounds right and what doesn't sound right. So I think listening to things in German really helps. I personally have been told so many times, watch some movies in German, listen to the radio in German. I think the radio does help, although I think watching movies, I think it's just too fast. It's not really like helping. I feel like you just can't like catch a sentence. It's just too much going on. So here are some books that I would suggest you guys picking up if you are living in Germany and you want to learn the German language. Pons has a lot of different things that you can find, and in this book you have just like a lot of like photos. It's quite like a nice book, and it just says like the names of things, like all these like different foods that are in Germany that are very typical, all your fruits and vegetables, you know, animals. Yeah, as you can see, I wrote some things in there, just like typical things or like sayings, like family stuff. There's also this page, it has like who, what, where, when, just really basic things, anatomy and other things like that. Definitely suggest picking up this book. I will link it down below so you can check it out. On top of that, I have this little mini English German dictionary, just like a little like pocket-sized one, so you can easily just put it in your pocket, and when you're walking around somewhere and you need to know something or you want to know something, you can just pull it out and find out what it is. It says things like today is heute, tomorrow is morgen, things like that. So very handy little book. I have this big German dictionary as well, and this one is literally just a German dictionary. So sometimes I just like skim through it and like look at a word, and then I'm like, oh, like that's what that is. Also, I have this book here, and this one is just like a book of like translations of all like different things. So like eyes, yeah, lips, yeah, it kind of like goes on and on and on and on. All these little like explanations of things, colors. So this book very, very handy book. I will tag this below as well. I also picked up these Pons leaflets. I guess they're called leaflets or pamphlets or whatever they're called. These are just like common German verbs. So this is very handy if you're starting out. I know that there's people out there, obviously, who are very talented with languages, who pick up on languages very easily, but that is not the majority of people. And I think if you're learning German for the first time, like myself, I was maybe like too hard on myself at the beginning, thinking like, oh, well, like I've been here for a year, and like people kind of like push on you a little bit, and they're kind of like, oh, well, you haven't learned German yet, you've been here for a year. But like people don't really like realize how like it's very time consuming. You're probably working, you're doing other things, and maybe you're just not good at learning languages. And people don't really realize that. They think, oh, like I think a year's enough, you should have been learning that, aren't you smart or whatever. But I think you need to honestly forget about all of these people around you, all of these thoughts inside of you thinking, am I stupid? Like, why can't I learn this or whatever? And just realize that German is a very difficult language, okay? It is very difficult. And I know this because I've been learning it, and sometimes I think like, how on earth am I gonna learn this? But honestly, I think it just takes time, and you have to just have fun with it and try your best. I will let you guys know how it is with my program, and yes, I wish you guys luck with learning German, and I hope it goes well for you, and we will keep in touch.